Team investigation exposing LA's nuclear secret triggers a major call for action tonight. A big development in the wake of our reports.
We've revealed how a contaminated nuclear and rocket test site could threaten the health of thousands in Southern California. The I-Team's Joel Grover is here now with the story. Joel?
Well, some of the area's most influential leaders have signed these letters calling on the state to make sure the Santa Susana Field Lab is fully cleaned up without delay. The Field Lab is a place that some people believe is literally killing them.
I'm so weak sometimes that I could barely even walk in my house.
Catherine Seltzer is fighting for her life. When we first met her last spring, her cancer was in remission.
I've had, I don't know how many cancers.
Catherine and her sisters all grew up near the Santa Susana Field Lab, and all three have battled cancer. A year-long I-Team investigation revealed that the women, and many others, may have been secretly exposed to radiation and toxic chemicals from the Field Lab for years. Now, Catherine's cancer is back worse than ever.
I don't know if I'm going to live or die with this.
And she feels like politicians have forgotten about the people who think Santa Susana made them sick.
They could care less about us.
LA County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl hasn't forgotten.
I couldn't shake the tragedy, the various stories.
Kuehl's been fighting for years for a full cleanup of the toxic site, which sits smack between Los Angeles and Simi Valley.
There are cancer clusters all around this site.
As a state senator, Kuehl got a bill passed in 2008 requiring the lab's owner, the Boeing Corporation, to clean up the contamination that remains in the dirt and water. Boeing got the law thrown out in court on grounds that it was being held to such a high cleanup standard.
It has to be cleaned up to the highest standard.
Kuehl is again pushing for a full cleanup in the wake of the I-Team's investigation. She authored and sent this letter to the state agency in charge of the Santa Susana cleanup, the Department of Toxic Substances Control, or DTSC. Just 3 months ago, DTSC's director, Barbara Lee, wouldn't commit to a full cleanup. Is there any chance there will not be a full cleanup?
Well, we haven't determined what the cleanup levels will be.
We need a full cleanup, and nothing short of a full cleanup is reasonable or acceptable.
LA City Councilman Mitch Englander also signed the letter after watching the I-Team's nuclear secret reports.
I can't thank you enough for exposing what I believe has been a major government cover-up over decades.
In their letter, elected officials are calling on the DTSC to reject Boeing's latest requests that it not be required to clean up the vast majority of the contaminated soil at the former test site.
My mom died at 50 years old of a brain tumor.
Councilman Englander grew up in Canoga Park and says his whole family developed unexplained illnesses. They live just 3 miles downwind from Santa Susana.
I do suspect that their illnesses were related, as so many other families.
According to that letter, Boeing's own estimate is that 96 out of 100 people exposed would get cancer from the contamination if they were living on a certain portion of Santa Susana and eating food grown in their gardens. Boeing says the property will never be used for residential purposes. They now want to turn it into open space or a park, according to their website. But elected officials say if Boeing's current cleanup plan is approved, the company would take no further action on about 98% of Santa Susana soil for which it's responsible.
We can't pass that along to our children and our grandchildren.
The elected officials are asking DTSC to reject Boeing's plan and commit to a full cleanup. The DTSC has often come under fire from lawmakers for mismanagement of toxic cleanups.
This is an agency that is deeply in trouble.
Boeing declined to speak with NBC4 for this story, but in a statement said, we're ready to move forward and finish the soil cleanup as soon as the final remedy is selected by the state.
I think their strategy is to delay cleanup, and their strategy is to reduce the amount of money they have to spend to clean up.
Ventura County Supervisor Linda Parks didn't sign the letter, but is also calling for a full cleanup of the Field Lab, as is Congresswoman Julia Brownlee, who sent the DTSC her own letter reminding the agency to hold Boeing responsible for a full cleanup.
We've got to get the site absolutely cleaned up.
This is in the lymph nodes.
With Catherine Seltzer's cancer spreading fast, she's hoping she'll live long enough to see a full cleanup of Santa Susana finally get underway.
I'm praying that I go into remission, but if I don't, it won't be long.
In a statement to NBC4, the DTSC says it appreciates these comments from elected officials and it's committed to a fully protective cleanup of Santa Susana. You can read Boeing's and DTSC's full statements on our website.